Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am excited to talk about one of my favorite animes. It is the only anime I have rewatched outside of Violet Evergarden, and I feel like it doesn't get enough justice. There is action, there is plot. The animation is amazing. I literally almost cry every time I watch it. The song is to die for. Hopefully one day, I don't know, I'll put together a little like choreography to dance to it. I don't know. The anime I want to talk about today is Vivy Floret's I Song. This anime has been out for a while, so there will be spoilers as we discuss it today. And hopefully, my discussion will convince you to watch it. It is so underrated, it's not even fair. The story takes place in a world where AI has already integrated into human life in terms of robots, sound musicians, singing, dancing, performing, and the setting takes place in Neoland, which is an entertainment facility much like Carowinds or Six Flags, an entertainment park. And the people performing on stage are not real humans, but they are AI machines. The story follows Diva, or later we'll come to know her as Vivy, an AI who has been tasked with three missions: to make people happy with her singing, to sing with all her heart, and later in the first episode, we see she is giving a mission to save the world from an AI disaster slash war. Now that we know her three missions, there are two problems that need to be solved before she can accomplish these. The first being, she does not know how to sing with all her heart. And the second task being, AIs destroy the world. You see, you can't make people happy with your singing if AIs end up destroying the world. And this is the premise that moves her into the Singularity Project. Now, the Singularity Project is brought to her by an AI from the future who knows that AIs are going to destroy the human race. And he is enlisting her help because, one, she is the first autonomous singing AI to ever be created. There will never be an AI like her in the next 100 years, which makes her unique. We also know that the programming she was given to sing from all her heart is unique to her. At this point, no other AI has that additional ambiguous mission. So, the Singularity Project is basically her and this other AI meeting up in certain points of history during the 100-year span and basically trying to rewrite history, to revise history along the way. This is what we see in episode 2 when she saves a congressman who is basically lobbying or heralding AI human rights from being destroyed twice. Well, not being destroyed, but being unalived twice. Once in the once in Neoland, he was going to be exploded by some kind of trash can, some bomb left in a trash can. And two, when they come actually to his place of work and try to basically unalive him again. In both of these instances, she intervenes. And instead of rewriting history for humans not to favor AI, it makes humans want to favor them more. Now, we do have an antagonist, which is the TOEIC group. So you will see at every point in the Singularity Project that they are somehow involved with one, countless people, humans, being at risk of losing their life, but two, the reason why AI is seen unfavorably. At each singularity point, we also see that Vivy begins to learn from her experience and begins to experience human emotions, which is something that will be very important later in the story. Not only does she complete her first mission in the Singularity Project by saving this man, but two, she begins to take personal responsibility for her mission and begins to develop some intrinsic value and substance to her singing. So we see after that particular event ends in episode 3, it's been about 45 years, I think. And it's time for another Singularity project. In episode 3, we see that Vivy has one, garnered more of an audience from the first 2 episodes, but two, she has taken more pride in her singing. We can kind of assume that she is singing more from her heart, and human beings who are in the audience are beginning to just resonate and enjoy the singing of this AI. We also see that there have been subsequent AI models modeled after Vivy, and they are called the sisters. These young ladies sing as well. And we notice that these AI models are able to develop sentimental feelings toward their mission, just like Vivi was able to do. The difference is these AIs have their emotions ingrained into them, while Vivi learned hers. So, this is the first difference that we see in the subsequent models. In episode 4, Vivy is now on another Singularity project point. And in this ship, we see the sisters. Now, there is only one subsequent, well, there are 2 subsequent models in this episode. One gets her head lobbed off, and the other 2 are the same model. So essentially, clones of each other. But what we see here is that this autonomous Estella, she loves her mission, she loves her master, and we see that these AIs do everything to fulfill their mission. Every emotion they have is surrounded by their mission. And Vivi always poses the question. She says, Estella, what does it mean to sing from all your heart? And continuously, we see that these AIs are saying, to sing from my heart means to fulfill my mission for my master. And this, in subsequent reality, never really gives Vivi the answer that she is searching for. So again, some TOEIC, the terrorist AI group, is involved in the downfall of the starship. Vivi and Estella have to work together to not only save human beings and reduce the casualty as much as possible, but Vivi learns another lesson. This is the first time we see that Vivi is jealous of another Vocaloid's ability or AI's ability to sing a song that they hold near and dear to her heart, letting us know that she has not yet achieved the ability to sing with all her heart. And that is the end of the 4th episode. One thing about the Singularity Project is that it causes Vivi cognitive dissonance. She doesn't want to hurt humans because she knows that in her wiring, she is made to please or aid humans by singing, making them happy. So she still holds on to this belief that all of her actions, even though they require some sacrifice, will make people, humans, happy. And she loves seeing people happy. Another thing that hurts Vivi is when she sees or she has to fight AIs who are simply fulfilling their mission. Now, in episode 6, we get to see how AIs have developed. Not only are they having their mission, or not only are they trying to fulfill their mission, but they're developing different ways of thinking on how to complete such mission, sometimes resulting in the harm of large amounts of human beings. Okay. In this instance, Vivy is tasked with going to a metal island that resulted from the crash and basically shutting it down because this island is too far. It's out of its era. Basically, humans cannot stand that there is an island unmanned with no human, full of robots working to fulfill a mission. The backstory behind this episode is that a young man fell in love with an AI after his mother had abandoned him. The AI did not. He comes to love this AI, and her name is Grace. Now, this is also a development in AI because up until this point, we have seen AI have one, one singular mission. Grace, though, has been overwritten and given two missions, not only to fulfill her nursing and comforting those that she is taking care of in a hospital setting, but now she is required to keep this entire metal colony afloat. So the young man wanting in love with this AI who basically nurtured him throughout his whole childhood is wanting to save her because he loves her. And he does not understand that she is no more, that her entire data set, her being has been engrafted and molded into this floating, unmanned island. So Vivy has to go and shut it down. And this is part of the Singularity Project. This is the first time we see one, the consequence up close of humans falling in love with AI and it affecting how Vivy functions. So, Diva, an alter ego, is created to help shield her consciousness and protect her from the sadness and the dark things that Vivy is beginning to experience as an AI with human emotions. Again, she is the only AI at this time who is able to develop human emotions outside of completing her mission. So, in episode 7, it is alluded to that the events in episode 6 cause basically Vivity to short circuit. Her data, her mind could not compute the repercussions of her actions because, again, she thought she was doing the greatest good. So now we get to see episodes of Diva, her alter ego, who is only concerned with her mission of singing, making people happy with her singing. And this is when we come into Ophelia and Antonio, and they are quite the duo. Throughout Vivid, we have seen the evolution of AI and their minds and how they not only are aiding humans, but really becoming like humans in a way in terms of their mission. And we see that when AIs are paired together, they develop some affection for each other. In this instance, Antonio's really, he develops jealousy for Ophelia and her singing, and Ophelia in turn develops some loyalty, affection, similar, very similar to love to Antonio. Of course, because these AIs are tasked with a mission, their mission overrides their now developing emotions. This leads to some crazy circumstances. This leads to Antonio basically hijacking Ophelia's mind and him living inside of her body, trying to achieve his goal. Of course, Diva, not Vivy, but Diva has to, because of this, excuse me, let me back up. Because Antonio has hijacked Ophelia's mind, he has never given the mission to sing. Therefore, he cannot understand how to sing to make people happy. And frustrated with one, not only his ability to sing, but his jealousy with Ophelia singing for other people, he decides that he is going to unalive Ophelia. Not only has he taken over her mind, so he's already unalived her once, but he unalives her again by casting her off the roof. This is the point in the Singularity Project where they have to stop. Because when humans saw that Ophelia unalived herself, they thought, oh wow, AIs are developing love. So they are becoming more human like. Of course, Diva is tasked with, well, she's not tasked, but she somehow is involved in helping Antonio and and Ophelia realize their feelings for each other, they still end up unalived. They still end up dead. But because of that, they die together with this now understanding that they actually had some kind of semblance of love for each other. All of these events culminate to Vivy being brought out of her dark place, and basically back into the light of day. Vivy is still distraught because her alter ego, Diva, is now gone. Again, Diva was the AI that was fulfilling the mission of singing a song that made people happy. Vivy is for the Singularity Project. Now that there is no Diva, Vivy has decided that she will no longer sing. But it takes her 20 years. During this time, she finds a young man named Osamu while she is in the museum. And is it Osamu or Osama? I think it's Osama, but it looks like Osamu. And basically, this is a young boy who comes to see her in the museum all the time. They develop a friendship. And during the 20-year span of them knowing each other, as he grows to be a young man, has friends, gets married, has a child, the mother dies in birth, okay? And he is taking care of this young child. Vivy has spent 20 years trying to write a song. At that point, she is able to finally complete her song, and she goes to sleep because she has been working on writing this song for 20 years. But this is a major turning point in the story because never in the history of AIs in the 100-year span has an AI been able to do something of their own free will. I think episodes 9 through 11 are all kind of bleeding into each other. A couple story beats stop in the middle of episode 10, stop. So if I'm speaking quickly about each episode and kind of speeding over the next one, it's because the remainder of the story finishes in that episode. In episode 11, now Vivy is waking up from finishing her song. And she is seeing the fallout that the Singularity Project has failed. In fact, it has sped it up 20 years. She wakes up in this unfamiliar world where things are already broken and torn apart, and is coming to learn that AIs, that the aggregate AI, that Arashiki, if I said that right, has basically been revising history along with her. So every point in history where Vivy has rewritten time or rewritten history, the aggregate AI data was updating and rewriting time along with it, allowing them to reach a conclusion that humanity needs to be wiped off the map and that robots need to start taking the place of humanity and evolving for them. Through the next two episodes, 12 and 13, we realize that the sadness she experienced by the Singularity Project is still preventing her from singing from her heart. The first time around, Vivy is actually unable to sing. She's unable to sing. She watches humanity get vaporized right before her eyes, and the AIs continue to wipe out humanity. With a little plot armor magic, because Osamu was not killed in this version of events, he is able to send her back to a certain point in time, and at the cost of his own life, instruct Vivy to go directly to the terrorist group Toek. Toek's descendants have now decided they are going to be a coalition that believes people can live alongside AI and not be replaced by them. So they aid Vivy in basically helping her get back to the Arashi and put in the self-deleting program. At this point in time, remember, Vivy had three missions when we started the anime. She had to sing with all her heart. She had to sing and make people happy. She had to accomplish the Singularity Project, but we also see how she, along the way, has made small promises to minor characters, and she still has to fulfill those promises. And one of those promises was her singing on the main stage. Now, at this point in the Singularity Project, a lot of the people she made promises to, because of Toeg and the scenarios they created, have passed away. They are not living. So she is singing into a crowd of no one, but she is able to finally sing her song. At this song, the AI program to shut it down works, and she, along with many of the AIs, begin to shut down because there is no more aggregate data, there is no warehouse for AI function, that sort of thing. And then in the last episode, 13, we pan to seemingly Diva or Vivy, we don't know which one yet, being awake with her companion and them starting to sing all over again. Now, in this scene, her hair is cut, so I couldn't really determine if this was the same Vivy or if it was a model. I think moving forward with the channel for the new year, what I want to do is talk about sometimes obscure animes that don't get a lot of attention in terms of popularities, but if you're gonna watch something, make it worth your time. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, I will see you guys in the new year, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. You're appreciated. Bye. ご清聴ありがとうございました。